the free Photoshop course that you're about to watch is just a small part of our Adobe Graphics full course bundle. So if you also want to master Adobe Illustrator with my teaching style and also be able to acquire your certificate of completion, you can tap the first link in the description right now and get your access with a fraction of cost. Also mentionable that this course is brought up to you by the Takeoff College, the smartest alternative currently available to the traditional education. With all that being said, I'm very excited to get started, so let's go. The next thing that we need to talk about when it comes to layers is masks. So masks are these concepts that are applied to each layer of us. So let me show you one. For example, this brightness contrast adjustment layer that we added over here, this is already including a mask on it. And as you see, this little white square that we have over here, this is the mask. So what are masks? Masks are basically concepts that are applied to each layer, and through them we can choose different paths and different parts of each object or each layer that we want to be visible, or different parts of each adjustment layer that we want to be adjusted, or we want to include or exclude from being adjusted, or whenever we want to remove a certain part of our layer, but we do not want it to be removed. We just want it to be covered. We want it to be invisible, you know. These are concepts and these are places and times that we use mask in them. So how masks work is basically with two colors of white and black. And white in masks means visible, and black in masks means invisible. So if I come here and click on this little square, so it make it selected, as you can see, and as it is visible. And here again, I'm using brush. Sorry, I know that you don't know what it is. I think you can guess. You know, it's just a brush, so we can just draw with it or something like that. You know, and increase the size of it. We'll talk about all of these in the brush section of this lesson. And now here, through this color over here, I choose black and I click and drag, and as you see, as I'm drawing here, I can see the black point over there. This black part, these black parts will be excluded of this adjustment that I've created. So if I, for example, come here and select the entire of this bag, it will be excluded from this brightness contrast thing that we have over here. We also can add masks to layers itself. So I can come over here, click on this layer and add a mask to it. And that mask will be a visibility mask. So now if I choose this brush on the black color and click on this little square that is created over here, and I draw, as you see, the shape of mine will be removed, or I'd better say will be invisible, will be hidden, because I'm masking its visibility, as you see. I can choose a white color and come back, and I can always drag and draw, and as you see, with the white color I will be able to bring back those hidden parts or bring back those deleted areas, you know. This is basically how mask works. So the first mask that we had was the mask for adjustment layers, and we also have mask for normal layers that we have throughout our project, which are called visibility mask, because we'll be adjusted to the visibility of our elements, of our layers. We also do have another mask. So beforehand, let me teach you how you can delete these masks that you have added to these layers. In order to do that, all you need to do is that you need to come here, click and select the mask. And by clicking delete, as you see, it says delete layer mask. And now it is deleted. So I delete these masks. Before deleting this visibility mask, as you see, it says, do I apply the mask to the layer before removing? So if I click apply, for example, I use this mask to remove this part of my bag. Now, if I click delete and click apply, this part of my image will be removed forever. So the mask, the visibility mask, will be applied to it, you know. So again, I delete it. This time I say delete, don't apply it. And as you see, this was what we had. So this was mask. We also have clipping masks, which are basically different things, you know. What clipping masks are about is when it comes to adjusting a layer into another layer, so setting borders of a layer for another layer, if that's understandable. So let me show you with an example. I draw another shape and I bring the shape under this mask, this layer of mine that I have over here. And in order to make a clipping mask, this bag layer of mine has to be over the layer that I want to be borders for it. And I can come to this bag, I right click and I say make or create clipping mask. So if I click that, as you see, this is what clipping masks are. And you see what happened here. So this is a child of this square that we have, and we can move it inside the square, as you see. And this is what clipping masks are. I press Ctrl Z, and there's another way to do that, another more common way, and that is that you place two layers in the correct order that they need to be placed in. And afterwards, when you might want to make a clipping mask, you press Alt on your keyboard, you bring your cursor between those two layers, and when your cursor looks like this, you just click. And when you click, the same thing will happen. So now, this is a clipping mask of this layer. So this is a child to this layer. It can be moved. Each of them can be resized separately, so I can resize the bag, or I can resize the square and move it, as you see. And this will be a clipping mask inside Adobe Photoshop.